didn't even know she was pregnant. And she didn't go into labour. No, she just picked up and there it was. There, I'll never forget. And she was sitting there in the delivery area and she was holding on to me like that, little baby, and I was looking at her and I could remember it, looking straight up into her face, and I'm thinking, are you my mommy? That's what I thought. And then the nurse came in and she said to her, Mrs. Grace, I think that this baby you should nurse your little boy. And she said, what do you mean? She said, I think you should forget about Liga. Or milk, for that matter. And you should put him on breast. She said, that's a good idea. And I remember was thinking, you know, she was saying, well, it's the freshest, the cheapest, and the cat can't get near it. That's what when they looked at me and she said, this is your first meal, and I'm looking up at the little cat. She said, this is yours, and I said, oh, great. We'll never eat all that. And I was nourished. And I grew up to be a very, very big boy in school. And when I was only 7 years of age in school, the teacher, even though he knew I was a big boy, he didn't like me. Imagine that. He hated me. And that's where he said to me one day in school, he said, why are you late for school? I said, teacher, because my granddad got burned this morning. And he said, was he badly burned? I said, well, they don't fool around in the crematorium. And I came home from school one day and my daddy had his birthday. He had his birthday. He said, you're late coming home from school. You're 2 hours late. Where were you? And I said, Daddy, because I was kept back at school. But he said, if you were kept back at school, you must have done something wrong. I said, well, I don't think so. I said, the boy sitting beside me was smoking. And he said, well, if he was smoking, why did they keep you back? I said, because I'm the one that fed him from class. And I sat there, and I went to those days in school, and I never, ever thought that I was going to prize in school like the expert. And the teacher asked questions, little boy here, raise a sword. Yes, sir. This is a question to you that you must answer. Okay, sir. Who invented the thermometer? Was it Freddie Mercury? Get up. Little boy down here, Pocket O'Neill. Looking back on the history of the world, there was several ages. Yes, sir. It was the Stone Age. That's correct. And what other age was there? There was the Stone Age and the Ice Age. Yes. And the Bronze Age. Very good. And the Sub Age. Little boy down the back of the bus. What do you know about the master? Oh, look, it was 99% of If you answer this question correctly, you win the prize, and the prize is a week free from homework. Okay, so that's the one. And the question is a trick question. It doesn't matter what I answer. It's in 2 parts. Okay. You must answer them correctly. Okay. Now, the first question is, who was the first man and woman? Was there Adam and Eve? Yes, it was Adam and Eve. Oh, great. And the second part of the question is, what was Eve's first words to Adam? Oh, Jay, I know. So could you repeat the question? What was his first words to Adam? Oh, gee, that's a hard one. Correct. I'd like to do a poem for you all to leave you with something that you will probably feel sad and something you will feel happy. It's a lovely poem from my book, which entitled me to first prize in X Factor in school in 1959, and was called Nina. I will get emotional. Nina. When my prayers were poorly said, who took me and me to bed and smacked me in the ass with that. Who took me from me cozy cot and put me on me ice cold pot. Made me wither when I could not. When the morning light was coming into bed, I whittled some who wiped me tiny little spoon. Who would my hair so neatly part and push me gently through her heart and sometimes squeeze me in her But when I went to bed in sleep, I raised my head to have a peek. You yelled at me to go to sleep. Yeah, well, I was